Hey, welcome to Tactical Tuesday. This is the starter kit forum or essential group of guys that gets together, analyzes game plans, analyzes players' plans, analyzes the rules on how they apply to the game plans, and then we also field questions, and then we also look at game of the months. Everyone plays game of the month. We go over all the games and we learn from each other. That's what Tactical Tuesday is all about. Learning from each other, learning from the games, and applying what rules we know. It's application of the rules. None of this is going to be in the rule book. All the rules are simply in your rule book. Highlight them and go on with this. What we're not about is teaching the basics of starter kit. We're not going to teach you what range is. We're not going to teach you what your morale level number might be. We're not going to teach you how to use Vassal. None of that is the realm of Tactical Tuesday. That's what you should know already as a player. If you don't know any of that stuff, please read the rule book. It's quite explanatory. Tactical Tuesday is for even beginner players that may or may not have played other people, but here to decipher and answer questions they might have about the rule book, about what they've read. So that's what we're all about, taking your game to the next level after you've done your homework, and then hopefully you'll enjoy your SK games much more. Thanks, and let's get on with Tactical Tuesday. All right, so I've got my notes in your game here, Mark, and I sure hope I have them here. It says perfect, but
really, I don't feel that way. I feel like I definitely made a bad mistake in the last turn.
Is that building? I think, in my opinion, I think the building at the bottom is the most critical building in the game. As strange as that may sound, I think this is the most critical building in the game. This is the hardest to take in terms of close combat. And if you break, you're moving away from it from a decent distance. And then you most likely have to cover open ground again to get to it. So if you are interested in this building, you need to crack it big time. And I like your 16 there. I don't remember whether you follow up. And I gotta be honest with you, I think that's what the 648s are for in this game, and we'll go over that. Because you look at your OB, right? How many 648s do you have? You got two.
Yeah.
Right. How many LMGs do you have?
Good question.
Well, it looks like there's only one here. I thought there were two LMGs. I may have been mistaken. So do you know how many LMGs? I don't know how many. Two LMGs. Two LMGs? Did you short yourself an LMG in this one, Mark?
Well, remember, it looks like we did, but remember, I'm German.
Oh, the Germans. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. So keep that in mind, gentlemen. 2 648s, 2 LMGs, and that can. We'll touch on that. Well, in terms of OB, right? So you've got. I haven't touched on this other ones, but we should have looked at it. So we got the OB of the 648s, which can't drop smoke. So what the hell good are they, right? All they are shorter range 4.58s. But they have the LMGs that can go out to 7. So you've got 8 firepower out to 8 hexes. Or 7 hexes, because the LMGs will be halved. That's pretty strong. And so if you have an 8+2 on the building down below, Mark's got a 16+2. Super strong, super cool attack. And then we've got the mortar, which is just kind of harassment for the most part. Keep guys out of the front area.
Like he shorted himself.
Yeah, it looks like it's. I didn't even notice that, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But considering the 4.58s can really handle the deal, tell me how the 6.48s. Because what happens when you advance up on this little hill down here on the bottom, gentlemen? Or move, advance. If you move up there, it's like 5, right?
Yeah. If you're advanced, you're going CX.
Yeah, you're going CX.
Yeah, you're going CX either way, unless you have a leader moving you up there. And do the Free French have a lot of leaders? They only have 3 leaders, right? So
correct.
I'm not so sure that you could risk a leader up there breaking. The only one I would risk is a 9-1, simply because he's going to survive the shot, which is going to be considerable depending on what's there. You know, a number of individuals have put, mediums there, whatever, but you're going to be facing point blank fire in P8, if not in one of these other hexes. So that's a problem. But when you do get up there, let's say 1648 gets up into P8. He's CX, right? And then he jumps into close combat. If a 458 is CX and he jumps into close combat, are we at a disadvantage? I mean, obviously we're at a disadvantage, but he's +1, or we're +1, he's -1. So that's huge, right? And since we're both on the same column, 1-to-1,
right,
he has an advantage. But if you throw a 648 up there, and he's going to be CX, because, I mean, you could get up on the center board without getting CX'd. I mean, we've seen that all game, and the guys on the bottom are going to be CX'd. But this is the CX zone. And so how do you overcome the CX? More firepower. 648s have the more firepower. That'll be a 3-to-2 +1, which will be a 5. And then the 467 will have a 1-to-2 -1. So right then and there, your 648s, that's an even close combat, even though you're CX. That's even in the first round, in the next round. But if you throw a 458 up there, you're at a disadvantage. So the 648s can move to R6, pound him a little bit, make him go back to give him an opportunity to get up on the hill. And the 648s, I think, are designed to jump into close combat down here. Even CX, because they'll be even odd CX. And if you throw a -1 leader there, again, risky with the -1 leader. That's going to have to be. I would go with the 8-1 honestly over the 9-1. I would actually retract the 9-1. Why would I take the 8-1 when I'm assaulting up there, gentlemen?
If he breaks, the 648s don't have to take a morale check.
The task check, right? So we don't want to get pinned because we want to jump into close combat. So we take the 8 morale. And we just hope he passes. 8 morale's not going to affect us if he breaks. Even if he dies. We don't care. But the -1 can give us our advantage, can revert the advantage as if we weren't CX in that location. Are you guys following that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I think that's why there's only 2 648s. It makes sense to jump up on the board up here. And even CX, it's going to be an even shot in close combat. So I hadn't actually even pictured that. Only have I looked at that, and honestly, just like the last couple days did I look at that, because I've looked at all the games, and that's what we're doing here is we're looking up with all the games, and because everyone's running into their own little problems. The similar problem is CXing down here, whether it's the Germans going up there, if that's where the Allies started, or whether it's the Allies going up there, if the Allies started in the middle. So both parties have to play with the CX. Now, which again, makes this building much stronger, in my opinion, to place your units in versus the center one, because of that fact that if the Allies are going up there, well, either way, the Allies, this kind of set down here kind of helps the Allies a little more, simply because the CC factor is equal. But if the Germans go up there and get CX'd, right, then they're screwed, especially if you have 648s there.
Mm-hmm.
He can't even assault this building unless he breaks you first, which is very difficult to do. We all know that. And but if he doesn't break you, he jumps up into P8, goes CX, and jumps into close combat. He's a 1-to-2 +1, and now you're a 3-to-2 -1. So that's an even greater disparity there in terms of defending this building here. At that point, if you choose the middle, even one squad, 1648 down here is probably sufficient. He's probably not going to have more than one guy down here, and if he does, you can make adjustments for that. But once you have a 648 up in these buildings, he's going to be hard pressed to take them back from those bad boys. And that's just looking at your OB. And again, 648 LMG, 16 firepower point blank with 1 unit. So he himself can just sit there, and all the 458s can run amok and do their thing. So that's just something that I've picked up in looking into it, and that's just kind of like on the surface, whether it's doable or not. But that's just number crunching wise. That's what can happen. So let's proceed through here. My apologies for being late. And so he's gonna first fire his squad here, or marks the first fire squad here. Pumps out a lot of residual firepower. I mean, a 1+2 is not great, but it's enough, even if it's to pin somebody, to stop an advance. I'm not saying that's worthless, but I'm saying you shouldn't be scared of it, unless it's if it's in the open, it's a big difference. So the mortar opens up. and we do our normal things here. Good advance, good solid lineup here. If I'm this 447 here, I'm just saying screw this building. I'm out. I'm out because that's a lot of firepower. That's a lot of firepower. Yeah, and he did look like he did get short of LMG anyway. And he's got the mortar honing over there, so that's a danger zone over there. Tell me about the middle right here, gentlemen. Tell me about this advance right here. I missed it the first time or two I was looking through it. Talk to me about.
I was pretty surprised.
Yeah, why were you surprised, Mark?
Well, I mean, primarily because you're giving up. I mean, I couldn't understand. Why he was giving up the building especially to move into P4. I didn't see like it gave him any particular tactical advantage.
Particularly since he's given up a +4 defense with going into wood building with just a +2.
Yeah. I mean, I felt like, all right, maybe he's, maybe he's trying to attack P2, but you can attack P2 from 05. So maybe he just didn't think he had the line of sight or something. I don't know, but but that got me worrying into the idea about the counterattack, which will start next turn, I think.
Right. This, if I saw this as a German, I don't care what it takes. I'm moving both these guys. I'm probably moving all these guys up in that building next turn. This guy, you just a CX or not. That's a fortified location, and it's a victory location. Mm-hmm. This is huge, and this is what we'll go over in one of the other games, where if the Germans can attack and take the fortified building, I got to be honest, I don't even know if the Free French can win if the Germans take that building. I honestly haven't seen it played out, but because it's hard pressed to get guys out of this building, it's hard. It's hard. It can be done, but you're gonna pay the price in time and units, and you might not have much of either. We've seen this game play out. So I just want to stop and look at that, and if you guys have a defense, like Mark's got his plan. He's got solid guys everywhere. He's got a leader centralized everywhere. These guys aren't going to be touched. If these break, who cares? They route back here. They'll rally. They don't really need a leader. So that's, if you guys are wondering why Mark kind of split his leaders, I'm pretty sure, is that what you thought, Mark? If you broke, you would just route back and rally?
That was pretty much it. Yeah. I mean, I figured, that they weren't under any immediate fire anyway. Eventually, the 9-1 was, probably going to have to get across the street and get into L4 and stuff anyway. So I figured eventually he'll be there anyway. And by then, fine, they'll have a leader. But for right now, they don't really need one right now. So, why bother? Yeah.
And this is a good setup to make, because I think a lot of guys put their leaders here, which is fine. It's basically their setup, because they could real power here. But these guys really don't need one initially, because again, if they break, he's only breaking one of them typically, unless he gets like a mad rate of fire. And then he just routes back out of line of sight, and eventually, within 1 or 2 turns, he's going to rally back. And so he's got his leaders in positions where if this guy breaks, he can get back here and get the hell out of dodge, so he can't. And then you've got some coverage down here. So good, solid defensive coverage over there. And so he does the old Skulking maneuver. Jumps back. He's going to fire here. Actually, it's a movement phase. My bad. He's got lots of residuals. I do like the Free French approach. Again, nobody's stacked, right? Nobody's stacked, so we're not taking a giant hit anywhere. And same thing with the Germans. Nobody's stacked, even though they're in good fire groups. Everyone's in a solid fire group, but no one's stacked up, because we don't want that bullshit snake eyes. Where John and I think it's Steve. Yeah, John and Steve, right? You guys had last week. We avoid those snake. Of course, I think there was single hexes anyway. But snake eyes against one stack. Of course, there's one stack here. Of course, but nobody was like, and that's not really a big deal. You only got 6 firepower coming back at you. So Free French are moving. Good move here. Because he's now centralized. Anybody coming up is going to take a point blank shot, and we can still cover that side over there. Unfortunately, the mortars, man, I tell you what, I think the mortar guy's been broken in every game.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to.
I don't know what the deal is. I don't care what terrain he's in. He's always broken. That's too bad. So this is your German turn 2, Mark. What are your thoughts right here? I want your thoughts since I have you here. What are your thoughts here?
Well, my thoughts right now are this is going to be where the counterattack takes place,
Okay.
and so yeah. So basically, yeah. That's so yeah. So I'm basically going to try to draw. All right. So I'm going to try to draw fire. Draw first fire away from the fortified building location, so the 467 can kind of get up there and have a chance to survive.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I don't know. It does work, but in the end, I'm not sure it was worth it. But we'll go ahead, and that's basically it. Yeah. So basically, yeah. So I'm trying to draw fire, and so the best way to draw fire is to get the guy in P9 over to O9 and have him shoot, but and let the 458 on him. Yeah.
Right. I see that.
And it works. Unfortunately, it works too well. So, because as usual, I can't take a morale check to save my life, basically.
Yeah, that's pretty gruesome there. So
yeah, that's basically the plan for this turn. Is the 467 is going to get up into 06.
Okay. So obviously you lost your guy here. I think you're the only guy to have a broken unit in the first turn. To be honest with you, in that building, I mean, not to kick a dead horse, but this broken unit here really hurts your position more than anything, simply because now he has 4 guys up here, and again, when rushing this building, it's good to take, but these guys aren't distracted up here, and so again, this 648 close combat with him, he has an advantage, and so even with a broken unit, this 1 unit to here looks like he can handle himself pretty well. Plus, he's got some backup here. This, I don't like this in terms of a German perspective in the middle, because that's some heavy meat going there, and he's got some meat down here as well. So, he's doing pretty well. Yeah, I don't envy the Germans. Well, it depends on where. I don't even remember where your guns are, to be honest with you. So, oh my gosh, wow, 2, 3. Damn.
Oh, okay. I guess. All right. So I guess M7's the one who runs up there. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's all right.
All right.
So we take
that. I think I'm kind of concerned now. I didn't want to try to pull too many units out of that M4 sort of area because already as I said, the P2 building's being threatened. So.
Right. I agree with you there. At least go there, and so he's kind of busybodied, and he just doesn't get to walk in there for free.
Mm-hmm.
And at least but unfortunately, again, I mean, you're covering fire on the side. I mean, that's
my bait shot.
Good Lord.
Unfortunately, just takes him out. Yep.
Yeah, that's kind of rough because that's where he is right there. I do like the vision of seeing the fortified building and trying to make a go at it. Again,
in the end, I think because we had one last week where they counterattacked into the building as well, and it didn't seem to help the German either in that case. So I don't know. So.
Well, that's a good range right there. Wow, that's a nice shot down the bottom.
Yep.
Was that LOS?
No, I don't think so. No, because I rolled a 12. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I'm not rolling 11. I'm rolling 12. So
Oh god. Oh god. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the shot I was waiting for all game, basically. Just take that whole stack down, and yep.
Yeah. And that guy's broken here, so. Oh my god. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, good shot there. Is that your 9? Your 8 and 9? Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Yep.
Let's see what he has. Hopefully he'll get distracted by that guy in the middle. Big gun coming out. Yep. Gotta pull it out. Start blasting. Close combat.
So that 75L can be really effective. If you get that hit, a 12 flat shot, and that's
if you do, it's nice. But trying to hit the fortified building, of course, is probably going to take a couple of acquisitions to get a chance at it.
Right. I think I'm not sure if you and I talked about it, Tony, or maybe Craig even, about positioning of those guns. And I discussed with someone offline for a while there. But yeah, that's 75. I think you just gotta. He happened to move his guy out of the building on round 1. Maybe that was his idea, to get the hell out of the building, and so the gun can't fire. But even if he moves out of the building, what can you do with your 75 if nobody's in line of sight, gentlemen? If nobody's in line of sight, what can you do with your 75 to get it into play early?
Just get that acquisition, right?
Yeah, just fire area target type to drop acquisition on one of the hexes.
Yep.
You know, in this case, Mark could have dropped acquisition here, knowing that maybe the Free French were going to come this way, and then you could switch the acquisition to the other one. You know, if he gets a rate of fire 2 on that first shot, I mean, he can get a -2 acquisition there straight up. I mean, straight up.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to kind of keep them hidden as long as I could, just because I thought I was trying to thread the needle into like kind of the
Q2,
Q3, P3,
yeah.
kind of catch him as he's you know moving out of the open sort of thing. So I wanted to try to keep it hidden as long as I can. You know,
Right.
Unfortunately, that line of sight's a little tricky. I think a couple of them. I think I get a free line of sight check later due to route, and I think one of the locations I thought I could get to, I couldn't. So it was like,
Right.
yeah. So I'm still trying to figure out kind of the best position for that AT gun. But
We'll cover that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I've whether it's the best position, I don't know, but it will give you probably a best chance of hitting shit again.
Yeah. I figured at the very least, with the AT gun down there, at least we can kind of defend the triangle of buildings, like the P8, H7, K9 sort of area, and at least try to get 3 buildings at least somewhat under control.
Right.
Down there. So.
Yeah, but yeah, that's one thing you could do, gentlemen. I mean, in this one, you know it's hard to hit. I mean, obviously you guys hadn't seen all the other games before, but you know it's hard to hit. You could just bring him out early. Especially, this one's kind of rough anyway because he's hard pressed in 3 different areas. This is just, when you roll. I mean, I hate to bring the dice up, but geez, man, when you can't make a morale check and you're in this situation, it's difficult. At least he rallied the guy up top, and he's got some forces up here, so it forces him to bring units up here. So now he's got 4 units committed to the top, so that's good. That's a 4v2. That's what we want. We want him to commit more troops than we have. Therefore, we can make other adjustments in other parts of the map. And we broke the guy in the middle, great, and the medium malfunctioned. So, considering you lost a guy there, I mean, he doesn't have much firepower in the middle. So that's a very solid plus there. Very solid plus. So he's firing there. You route back, perfect. No problem there. The Brits get it. Remember, the Brits get it instantly. The guy loses, not next turn. As soon as it becomes devoid of enemy units, you get it. And so he'll capture it right then and there. And so now he can just do whatever he wants to do. So we got a unit routing back there. Again, this is our 648 right here. That's a good deal. Now we have the advantage over here as the Germans. Because he's kind of isolated. This guy's still paying. That's an 8+3 shot. Nothing to be ignored. 8+3 is like the sweet spot. I mean, it's not the best shot, but a 5 will give you a morale check. A 5 will give you a morale check, and 5s aren't impossible to roll. 4s, you're just getting lucky with 4s, but 5s aren't too bad.
Yep. Okay, so there goes my medium. Bye.
Yeah. So the Brits the Free French are coming hard on the bottom. I don't know what the hell happened there. Okay. Okay.
Snake Eyes on that. So you KIA B9 too.
Yeah, I KI'd him. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So
got a 2. Yeah, my one lucky shot of the game. Yeah.
Well, so the central point is important. Your medium's gone, and at this point, to be honest with you, if I'm the Free French in your fire phase, I don't know if they have you destroy weapons in Star Kit. I don't know if they have that.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you can destroy a weapon in a fire phase that you don't fire it. Basically.
Yeah. As soon as this unit breaks, as soon as that machine gun breaks, just destroy it. You can't repair it, and the only thing that can happen to the Germans to recover it, and you don't want that to happen. You just destroy the gun, get it off. Get out of the game. You can't use it after that. 9-2 here. We've got. This is in range, and this is where this is again your 1-2, 2-2 out in the open. really bites you in the ass. You got a 2-2 here because he wants to get to this broken unit. Well, first of all, do you care about this broken unit in the back?
Well, I said I'm not quite sure what Jason's plan was. Maybe he did, in which case it was like, yeah, in which case, he just maybe thought that I don't. He might have thought that that I couldn't subsequent first fire because of all these units closer, but I couldn't see any of them.
Right.
So I could ignore them.
Does he know where your AA gun is?
He still does not know where the AA gun is.
You're never making that move because the AA gun could be here, here, or even right here.
Yep.
This is his hot spot. If anything, how would you guys get there? How would you guys get there? Now, obviously, you retrospect. I mean, if he thought this guy was first final fired, that's one thing. But again, the AA gun is not in the game, and that could be here, or hell, it could be in P8 for all we know. It's unlikely to be in P8 for obvious reasons, but it could quite easily be in these locations. We've seen it there in a number of games. So how, if your concept is to rally this guy in the back, because the Germans really can't take this now, he's probably wanting to go back there to get as many units as possible as early as possible. This is turn 4, by the way. Yep. Turn 4. So it's going to take a movement to go up there and a movement to go back. So he's up here at turn 5. So he's going to be used for 1 turn after that. So going back there might not be your best bet. I think moving your units up here and trying to crack some of these guys here and here, which hasn't occurred quite yet. What path could you take to get to this guy much more safely? There's a couple.
You could go 03 P4 05. I think that.
Go ahead, and red line it or something like that.
So
the highlights.
You go there, and then there. I'm not so sure about that 05 though.
Right.
Well, the problem there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It'd be 7.
Well,
you couldn't subsequent first fire.
Well, it'd be 2, 4, 5, right. So
5.
It's 5 movement factors. He could advance down there if he feels compelled that's where he wants to go. Could stop at Q5 and then advance into.
Right, and that's the point. I'm glad you made that comment of advancing. You don't have to get there in the movement phase. Nothing is going to happen to this unit until the rally phase. You have that 1 hex of movement, you can get there. What else can this unit do? He can also CX, right? Because Q5, again, you don't know where the gun is. The gun can still be an N9. That still could be a potential shot. If this unit CXs, is that a big deal? Is that such a loss?
Not really.
Yeah, because you have 2.
It doesn't affect your rally capabilities, and by the time you're... I mean, the only disadvantage is if you rally him quickly, you can't CX next turn, so you may not be able to get into the position you want to get into. But I don't know.
But let's look at it. So we go 2, 4, 6, 7 advance.
Yeah.
I mean, R4 is clean.
It'd be 8 to R4. It's an extra movement factor going up and down.
Oh yeah, so we go 8. Actually, good idea. Good 8 to R4. So the free
but
French
not on a paved road. Not on a paved road.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
but from Q4 to R4 is not going on. You don't get the road.
Not going on a paved road. Right?
Yeah, we're jumping off the hill, John. We're jumping off the hill.
Okay, I'm sorry. Q4 to R4. You're right.
Yeah. No big deal. But But your point is well taken because we're going to use that on the backside. So we got 2, 4, 6, 8 advance. He rallies next turn with a 9. He rallies in the German turn with a 9. Our turn comes up. Our leader CX, so we only have 6 movement factors with the leader. We take John's advice. We go 1, 2, 3, right? 4, 5, 6. Our 9-2's up and ready.
Yeah, ready to go for the final push.
Because the CX is gone at that time. We can't CX back up there, and we're 1, 3, and hopefully the AA that gives us another turn or another half turn where the AA gun might rear its ugly head because these guys are probably going to advance up here. If the AA gun is over here, he's going to shoot. So therefore, the 9-2 knows that it's clear. Hell, he could take a different route for all that matter. But so it gives you one more turn of possible information because the longer the guns stay quiet, the better chance you have as the allies. Because if they're not firing, they're not rolling morale checks on you. That's a simple fact. You're going to eventually get caught by it if he's hiding in M7 and wants that point blank shot. You're going to get caught. But what about the 3 turns that he may have gotten rate of fire to 6+2 or 6+3? You know, that shit, it's like mortars. You know, it doesn't do much on the 2+3, but it only has to hit once on a crit. And we've seen that in John's game, and shit goes south real quick. And so...
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so considering this is a 9-2 leader, I don't care what I got. I'm firing at that guy as the Germans. 8-1, I have to think about it, you know, because if these guys, you know, actually these guys have moved. This guy hasn't moved. 8-1, I might consider it. I mean, he's a good target. 8-0, I ignore him, you know, especially if I have a better target to go at. But if these guys have already moved, this guy's got nothing else to do. I don't care if it's a conscript or if it's a 12-5 leader. You just have to take that shot. So again, but just make sure you're moving cleanly and safely. Can you get there? Is this the easiest way to get there? Yeah, absolutely. 1, 3, 5, or 2. Thank you. 2, 4, 6.
Yeah.
So he can get there 1 turn. But again, does the CX hurt us? Doesn't hurt us at all because the CX is gone by the time we can move back up in the building. And as John pointed out, we go to R4, Q5, and we're back in the building at, boom, in the movement phase. So we get to advance fire right after that, and using the 9-2 leader with that. So take your route. Again, he rolled a 2, but that's beside the point. I mean, he still could have taken the shot, but it's something that you can avoid, you know, like you can avoid. This is 100% avoidable. Mark's shitty rolls are not avoidable. You know, so Mark's got to deal with his shitty rolls. But like we said before,
sometimes you do get snake eyes.
Yeah,
so, you know.
And so we know the 12's coming right after this. I mean, that's I jumped into a game. I don't know who it was yesterday. Some new players, and I said I just want to tell you guys because it seems like every single time I jump into a game, somebody rolls a snake eyes or a 12 as soon as I jump in. So just warning you, you know, the first shot's going to be a snake eyes or a 12. So whoever gets to shoot first has got that advantage, and don't blame me. And he rolled like an 11 and broke his gun or something. If it's avoidable, avoid it. Because this, again, like I said before, this is a game changer, especially since you have such a huge advantage here. This is going to be gone in a turn. You know, this building is vulnerable, and this building is going to take some fighting to get over. But, therefore, the game's not over yet. The -2 is the great equalizer in this one, and unfortunately... I mean, that was a 2-2 shot, gentlemen. 2-2. And, yeah, it's kind of gruesome there. It's a hell of a shot right here, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that shot, gentlemen.
Wow.
Wow. Nice.
That's a hell of a shot there.
So remember that one. Yeah, that's one of the shots I was waiting for. That's
fantastic. An LMG right there. That's a 4-2, gentlemen. That's some pain. That's some serious pain, and if he's got, that's an excellent shot on that. Excellent shot on that.
And I rolled my 11.
Well, because you rolled the 2, you know, it's an average of 7. Mark, what are you bitching about?
There you go, absolutely. You know? God is happy. Yep.
Oh God, yeah, the dice gods are happy. The yin and yang of the dice gods. It's such bullshit. Yep. I was watching a game last night. Oh God.
That's right. The dice gods are angry.
Yeah, and so we do some routes. I don't think there were a lot of big deal. No, okay, right here. Remember what turn is it, gentlemen?
It's like turn 4.
Turn 4. Do you want to go backwards?
No.
No.
If you can help it.
Is this guy going to fire at this guy when these guys advance closer?
No.
Not any day of the week. So. If he does, if Mark does, we need to strip him. We need to strip a couple of stripes off his shoulder. You know, this is obviously our first of all, it's going to be 8 firepower shot. This guy's broken. He's out of the fight. We want this to occur. We want this to occur right here. Considering it's
I didn't understand that one either. Yeah, that did seem.
Considering it's the French turn, this guy advances there, and he's going to rally. That's a 6 for a rally. Now it's an 8 for a rally. Obviously, he'll rally. Well, let's hope he's going to rally turn 5, but he's 3 movement factors in the back or 2 more hexes, and so he's only getting right here without CXing, where he could go 1, 2, 3, 4, and actually be in close combat here next turn. This it's not far. It's 2 hexes. You say, Stu, who cares a shit about 2 hexes?
Yeah.
Man, that's, in this scenario, especially when you're going uphill and it's +1, I mean, he may not be going uphill. He certainly isn't going uphill back here. If he was right here and he rallied, he could go uphill. 1-6. And if the leader moves with the hell, he's 1-6-8 advance. He's in this fortified building at the end of next turn instead of right here. Huge difference in this game. This isn't a given win for the Brits right here or the Free French. We got 3 squads here. This is going to be a fight. You need every dude. Plus, when this guy's here, you bring up another 4-5-8, and that could be a 6-4-8 for all I know, and an 8-1 leader. It's rough. The middle, what's he got here? He's got 6-4-8, and this guy here. They could probably break a couple guys here. Are they going to assault around there? No. You got good coverage. You got a 75. These guys aren't leaving that building anytime soon. So, Mark's got it hammered down. This is the armor starting to crack. We got a 20% shields left over here, and he's got his 9-1 leader, so he's got some meat to throw at you. Again, risky. Yeah. He doesn't have quite all he needs, I think, because this gun turns here. Now the road's covered, or at least some of it is. So this is another reason why you guys might be not winning as many games. Keep him up in front. He's not going to get shot at. He's not going to be DM. But so what? If he, let's say Mark likes DMing guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you put him back here, and these guys move up, he doesn't have that guy to DM anymore. You don't take away his candy. You just took away his candy. He doesn't get what he wants. Now he's got nothing to do but shoot at your guys. Give him a sweet target. So leave him there. Hell, in that case, if you had somebody else, like a half, say this guy was rallied a half squad, you might want to advance the half squad up here in open ground. Maybe he takes that shot and leaves this guy DM'd. You got 8 morale, you could take that. Hell, if you got 7 morale, you could take that shot. But give this guy the best chance to rally and get back in the fight.
Yep.
And moving him back here, again, don't just run away. Don't run away from the fight, gentlemen. We're here to fight. We're here to win it for take back France.
Right.
And the Free French are badasses. That's why they're 4-5-8s. If that was a green unit, run him back. I don't care. But he's ralliable. This is definitely ralliable. And you got your mortar too. Your mortar's not out of it either. I think he moves the mortar later. But this one guy. Remember, like we said last time, one guy. John, what did John do with that 338? That little bastard. That little bastard ran back here and took out the gun. A 338. Yep. They matter. Every guy matters. The 228, right? Broke, came back, killed the guy, killed the squad. Every guy matters.
Yep.
Every guy matters. Keep him in the fight. The longer than the fight, the better chance you have. The more risks you could take. If I had 4 guys up here, shit, at that point, if you're desperate, you run 4 guys down the road instead of 3. That gives you one more chance to do what you need to do, even if you're desperate. Every guy counts, guys. Every guy counts. So again, we run in and we jump in the front. So he's got that matter. He didn't advance here. I might have advanced one guy there. He'd be taking a hell of a shot, but at least you'll be firing 8+2. Now Mark has no one to fire at, right? He's got either this guy or this guy to fire at. Who are you going to fire at? 1 squad or 3 squads? Most of you guys will probably fire at 3 squad. I would too. Again, because these guys aren't coming off the hill. All he's doing is 8+3, and Mark's probably just going to skulk. I would just, actually, I probably wouldn't skulk. I would probably like assault move here just to keep this guy's eyes focused over here and not over here. You don't want these guys to break. These guys break, you're in deep shit. These guys break, again, what we covered before, don't care. Go back over here. These guys aren't going anywhere. He's not going to be able to pursue that broken unit. He's fully safe. If he breaks, even if you move, well, you don't want to move him here. It's a 16 chart. Even if you go here, just bait a shot so this guy can't get shot upon. You might do this later on in ASL when a bunch of funky other rules come into play. You might want to bait the 4-4-7, go out there just to force this guy to fire so these guys might stay up. That's a quirky thing. You'd have to think hard about that.
Yeah.
But an 8+3 here, and if one of these guys breaks, that's another 8+3. Again, what I say about 8+3s? A 5. You have 2 chances to roll a 5. Let's see what happens. There you go. I got one of them.
Yep.
That's all that matters. 5s aren't bad. I bet when I go to Vegas and bet on craps, 5s and 9s are my favorite rolls. 6 and 8s, nah. 5s and 9s, the payoff's pretty good. But and it doesn't seem that hard to roll. 4s and 10s, I hate 4s and 10s. I hate it. But yeah. So that's what we're looking at here. I'm surprised he still has hold of that building. And the 8-1 goes back here. Maybe he's going back there to help him move that mortar. Don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, I think that might be it. Yeah.
Yeah, don't have a problem with that. We got a pin on that guy. We got a good prep fire shot up there. 7s aren't going to cut it with guys in stone buildings, so let's go through some more here. So he's firing back again. That's that 12 shot. Oh my God! And then he rolls a 5. Mark rolls his 11. Unfortunately, he breaks. He advances forward. I love the advance forward. Why'd you advance forward, Mark?
I have to keep the building.
He's got to keep the building. He's got to keep the building. He's got to keep the building.
I can't route out. I've got to move in.
Yeah, he's got. He doesn't really have a choice, does he, gentlemen? Because if the Brits move here, this guy just routes out and he gets it without firing a bullet. Yeah,
I mean, the guy's broken, so he can't. So I said, all right, I might as well get the leader there, and hey, maybe I'll get lucky and rally him.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm running out of time.
Yeah.
So
you stick him there again. Time sequence here. If this is turn 2, I'm not moving that guy in that location. I'm not moving him up. I'm giving him the building because we have 3 squads here. Hell, I might just advance back here, or I don't know. I would probably pull some guys over here to help get this guy across the road. Maybe blast this guy like a bitch. Just focus everything like he's got on here. I think it's probably what Mark's doing. Is that you focus on this guy so this guy can probably get the hell out of Dodge?
Yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah, I'm trying to at least. Hopefully, I can break him. Yeah, hopefully I can smash that position up. Yeah, and then try to get him across at the end of next turn.
All right, shot selection, gentlemen. This is a tough unit. That's 8 firepower. Even if the 9-1 wants to move 8-2, I'll take the 2-2. We don't want the -2s, but I'll take the 2-2 over the 8-2. I mean, that's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer. Mm-hmm. But if this is early in the game, you might want to pull back because he's got 3 squads here, and so that's essentially 5 squads he could have in this area. This is a rough situation here, but if he could delay the Brits 1 turn in this building, if he could hold 1 more British turn in this building, then this building is pretty much 100% secure because he has to do something desperate to try and get that.
Don't worry. Don't worry. I'll make sure it's not by the end of the game.
So we got some prep fires going. And we got the guy rallied in the back, looking good. Oh, look at that shot. What the hell, Mark? You pull out your hack again? Your dice rolling hack?
Probably, yeah.
So we broke a couple guys there. Looking sweet up there. The gun? Did the gun? What the hell? Okay. What happened to your act? Oh, you changed your cover arc. You moved. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. My bad. Looking good. Moves out. Let's go. Okay, this is the beginning of this is German turn. Sorry.
Yep.
Prep. Everybody's prepping left and right.
German turn. Yep. So
good deal here.
Yep.
Why is he firing here, gentlemen? He's got a point blank shot here. Why are we looking up here?
Well, this is where I think things somewhat begin to unravel for me, because what I was thinking at this point was delay. So it's like, all right, it's my turn 5. He's only got 1 more movement phase. So the more units I can keep under DM, the less units are going to be able to attack into the center buildings and this building here on the last turn.
Right.
So I decided to take a tactical decision and keep the 2 broken units under DM instead of firing an 12 shot there.
Would anybody fire the 12 shot in P2? Again, it's not a right or wrong answer. This is based upon if this was you, would you fire into P2 or DM these guys? I just want like a thought. There's nothing. We're gonna cover the pros and cons of both of them, and nobody's gonna be wrong here.
All right. As I said, my decision was based on keep the maximum number of units out of the game.
Yep.
For the final turn. So
right.
that's why I decided to DM those guys instead of firing the take 12 shot on the 4-5-8.
Right, and that could be based on that decision on Mark. maybe was also based on breaking this guy down here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I figured, all right, at this point, it's with the both guns out and firing, I thought, all right, maybe I can hold the south and then or hold down here, keep these two buildings down here. This building still seems relatively secure.
Yep.
And hey, if I stay in here, that just gives me a margin of error.
Yeah, let's see. His
yeah, I actually I like the idea of DMing those two squads because he can either one of those will rally on an 8,
right?
And his counterattack, he's going to prep fire in there. That's going to be an 8+3. I'm not sure what I'd have to take a look. The odds are, but that's not a guaranteed shot.
Oh, this shot right here.
Yeah, I'm talking about when the free French turn, his
coming back on the defensive fire.
8+3 is not a great risk.
Right.
Again, right, but yeah, I mean that was basically it. Yeah, I figured, all right, it's an 8+3. But I figured out, for me it was, as I said, it was just simply, keep the most units down as possible for the final turn.
Right.
So
this right here, many variables going into this one, gentlemen. It's not just Mark wanting to break these guys. Probably 8 different variables are making this decision. And firing here. At that point, it doesn't matter to me. I think they're both sound decisions, but it's based upon exactly what again, your gun comes up, breaks this guy. Now this is areas he's pinned. He's not advancing. Are these guys jumping out in the open? Probably not. Probably not. They might jump here on their way over, but it's not their turn yet, right? So he has to move there. Right. So, and again, that's another facet. Is it your turn, or is it their turn? Okay.
Yep.
So if it was their turn, if it was their turn, does Mark need to now? If this were the French turn, and this is the Mark's and this guy assault moved in there, so you get full modifier. If he assault moves in here, and this is defensive first fire or defensive fire phase, let's say Mark didn't even defensive fire, maybe he's waiting for somebody else to move, right? Do you DM them then, or do you take the shot here? This is let's say it's the free French turn.
Oh, you wouldn't because they can't self-rally.
There you go. See how that matters between the turns, gentlemen. It makes a difference.
Yeah.
Who's going when?
Yep.
Because if it's defensive fire, right?
To do it.
And like Mark said,
to that free French shot that Mark's considering, an 8+3. Mark's got a 75% chance of surviving it, remaining unbroken.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, good thing here. Good thing here. What variable, discounting everything on the bottom, what other variable do we have over here that we might consider? Can we do both? Can we fire and DM these guys?
Well, yes, as I said, if you didn't prep fire, then but the problem is if you try to assault move into O2, that's still going to be an 8-1 shot. I'm not sure I'd take that.
Who's assault moving there?
Well, it's my turn, so if instead of prep firing, if you assault move into there,
is there somebody else can assault move in there?
Well, I guess the leader could on his own. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
If the leader assault moves here, well, if you prep here and you get nothing, right?
Yep.
It's a 12+3. Not a great shot. You need a 6. Not a great shot. This is guaranteed. But you could 12+3 here. Take the risk of 12+3.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could assault move here would be pretty risky. But 8 -1 or 4 -2. Which would you want to be attacked on? 8-1, 4 -2. It's about the same. 8-1 slightly stronger, but you don't want to. That's very risky, right here. 8-1. That's pretty risky too. But again, it's all based upon what turn it is, whose turn it is, and who's going next. Since he's going next, Mark, yeah, absolutely. I think going here is absolutely a very good idea. and not moving that leader there to DM him, and essentially he doesn't get greedy. Me, sometimes if I feel lucky, and if it's going my way, I might get greedy. I'll go 12 plus 3 and then move this little bastard over here.
Yeah,
high risk.
But thankfully I don't have that problem. So
Yeah, high risk.
Well, you could advance the leader, right?
Yes, you could.
Yeah, you could advance the leader and not take any fire.
Right, but remember, there is a broken.
Yeah, we want to
Sure,
rally
sure.
him.
No,
Yeah, in this case, we want our cake and eat it too.
That's the other reason why it's like, all right, if I can get him up, yeah, fine, he's a conscript unit right now, but hey, a 7, he'll be up.
Another thing to consider as the Free French. If you are the Free French in this situation, what are you going to do? Are you going to fire here, or are you going to fire over here? Because next turn is your turn. Next turn is your turn. So, are you going to fire here, or do you want to fire there? What do you guys think? If you were the Free French and nothing else existed in this game, would you fire here or would you fire there? Which shot would you take? Again, this is subjective. This is based.
I think fire at 03. That's the only thing that's going to advance you towards victory conditions.
If these
Fire
guys
at 03.
right, if these guys are DM'd, right? 03 is it 8 plus 3? What's the chance of this guy coming back in a rally?
Pretty high.
50-something%. If you DM him, then chances are it's not.
If you DM him, he's not coming back.
Right.
If you DM him,
yeah, but again, for me, I think that's kind of the whole point. If you get 03, if you break the guy in 03, which is exactly what happens and why things start unraveling for me, now I don't have any choice. I've got to go out of the building.
Right.
Okay. And that's the great thing about having the unit there sitting there in P2, because now if I break, I've got no choice. I've got to abandon the building.
Right.
And so I think, I think at that point I would be, more concerned about trying to take the 03 shot, because if I can clear that building, as the Free French, then that means I can make my final push last turn, as opposed to literally having tried to engage in close combat in the last turn.
Yeah.
Tried to even take this building.
Right. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're making. In retrospect, you know what happened. You broke, but
Right.
you only got a 15% chance of breaking you.
Oh
Right.
yeah, no. I mean, see, as I say, I don't mind this decision at all.
No, not at all.
I still think that's the right decision. And yes, I mean, unfortunately, I did get unlucky, and I think we do break here. As I said, my problem.
What the Free French, defensive fire. If I were the Free French, what would I try to do? And I think I would try to DM that broken conscript, so he doesn't come back, because that's a 55% chance of coming back.
Yeah.
And I've got some other squads that I would come in to take care of the good order German unit.
Let's expand the realm of that building just a little bit. And this, in my opinion, would definitely extremely favor the shot here. Now, what we could do to damn, too bad you're not fanatic or Free French yourself. Because if this unit, well, I'm not even going to ifs. I don't care about the ifs. But look at P4. Look what he's got in P4. This essentially cements that decision on Mark to DM those guys. He's got 12 firepower staring at him.
Yeah, the 12. Yeah.
He's got an 8 and a 12, because I don't think these guys can see this dude. I don't know if they can or not.
Yeah, I don't think
even if they can, we need to clear this. The Brits needed to clear this building anyway. So with this added threat, minus the mortar, I'm just ignoring the mortar, but you shouldn't. But I'm ignoring it. I'm looking at 12 and an 8 chart. He could actually, the Free French can have his cake and eat it too. He could blast him here with 12, and if that doesn't work, he could follow with an 8, because I don't think this LOS exists, and that way this guy can DM him, and he could possibly break him. But Mark at least gets a piece of the pie before the rest of the family eats the cake.
Before the position and close. Yeah, but
Right.
yeah, that's why I just said I had a feeling it's like he's everybody's aiming at him. It's like do as much damage as you can before you face the gunfire from multiple directions.
Yeah, this slows the attack. 2 more squads out of the fight for at least a turn. Maybe turn 6 he's not going to even get up. So, but yeah, this is This is not a straight up decision. Again, however you guys want to approach it, it's all based on whatever you think what you can get away with and the victory conditions and how much time and this, that, and the other. Now, if this unit were free French, because we've kind of, if this guy were free French, I would fire my LMG here first to DM them, because you do not cower, and a 2+3 shot yields a more normal morale check, and then I fire 8+3.
Yep.
I would do that if I were free French.
Oh, right, yeah, you didn't have cower possibilities, right? Yeah,
but the Germans really don't have that opportunity. They could fire a squad and then point blank LMG, but a 6+3, I mean, you're rolling a 4, then that's not going to happen, and you don't care. Well, you could possibly pin him, but that's not going to. You're just wishing for luck there.
At this point, yeah, it doesn't matter,
Yeah.
you know.
So
And
again, yeah. So even not only does the breaking of the units matter, but also your nationality. If you're free from cowering, as the allies are in this scenario, if you're free from cowering, your LMG can break. You can keep stuff DM all game long.
I don't think in this scenario, by SSR, free French don't have no cowering capability.
That's
I don't
news
think
to me.
No, I don't think they
Unless I was playing it wrong.
Can I throw in a suggestion, guys?
Sure.
Why don't you move the guy into N2, assault move into N2, use advanced fire to DM those guys, and then advance back in to 03.
Because as soon as I
'Cause
advance,
then you're going to limit the amount of fire you
The
take,
problem is-
and that's the most important thing, is you don't break, right?
yeah.
Well, hold on, Mark. What happens when he advances out of the building, Tony?
Oh, he loses the building as
Yeah.
soon as he advances out. Okay, duh.
Yeah.
All right, sorry guys.
No.
I
That's
can't-
good. That's good,
Okay.
because that's a good question.
Yep.
That's an absolute solid question. Because
Yeah, you're right. Somebody might might think about that, but yeah, but as soon as you do, say you lose control of the building, and you getting back in there doesn't help you out at all.
Right. And I gotta be honest with you, if he's got more forces down here, if one more of these squads were over here, he might want to give up that building and do the same thing, because this unit can't even fire on him, and this unit's not going to affect him, and so therefore he's still going to be a thorn in the side, slowing these guys up. So it would depend on the rest of the game situation. That still might be a viable strategy. That still might be something you think. Give up the building. You know, you don't take the 8 shot, you don't take the 12 shot. You could give up the building. You know, he's got one more turn, right? He's only got one more turn, Mark?
Yeah, we only got the one more turn. So yeah, I mean, yeah, there's something to be said for that.
Yeah,
you
there's
know?
only one thing this guy's doing in one more turn. Actually, not necessarily. Well, this guy has to come up and take this building, because if he leaves it, you just go back into it. I mean, so this guy only has one thing to do, and is run down the road. And so yeah, that brings up another good point, Tony. Is you do have the possibility of just leaving the building. Just leave the building, and now you have you've got a 12. If the assault moves in their next turn, you've got a 12+2 shot, pretty decent shot. You know, even if this guy doesn't rally, who cares? If he does rally, then you've got even more firepower. But we just can't count on that guy rallying. But that's another good point to make, is, you could just forego the building. He only has 3.
Well, and I think Tony had suggested too, is you assault move to N2, but then in the advance phase move back into 03. So he still has to take that hex. He doesn't, you still have control of.
Well, you still have control of the hex, and it's a nice position to be in.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
you don't have control of the building at that point.
Right. It's a building.
You've ceded control of the building, but you still have possession of the hex. So I mean, which might be a more advantageous spot to be in a final turn.
Right.
Even if you don't control, as I said, even if you don't control the building.
And again, it's based upon his position here. Yep. If we cede that building, he has 1, 2, 3. We only need one more here. He could ignore this one and send everything. This guy double times. Well, he's not even gonna make it. These guys just charge this one building, and they could possibly get there. So if he stays in the building, again, it's game situation. He needs to take this building and this building. So if you scratch onto it, think about this. Do some further analysis on this one here. Whether he could take it. If he had units here, units there, something like that, where he's going to easily defend this, he might. I mean, all 3 of these guys can, practically run across the road. But do we want to do that? I don't know. I mean, this guy's open, so he's got forces down there. So let's continue. But like I said, this is just simple shot up here, gentlemen. But the decision making to shoot this guy versus this guy depends on what you want to do. And I think I agree with Mark. I mean, if I'm feeling risky, I might go here and then just assault move there and just whatever, but you have a broken unit here, you really need them up. But that's two guys. If that's one squad, I'm probably blasting him, to be honest with you.
Yeah, as I said, if it was one squad, that would be probably something different. But,
one squad, I'm
two,
just,
that was too much.
Yeah, it's too sweet. It's too sweet. It's like sort of like the 8-0. Am I firing at an 8-0 on 9-2? 9-2 is no hesitation. 8-0, you got to think about it. So we get the mortar going, and so he rolls a 3 on the IFT, and just boom, and then he has his cake and eat it too. He dims them both. So that's an actual worse situation. Wow. But Mark at least has 2 DM guys coming out of that. The Allies only have 1 squad in the building. Will he control the building? Yeah, but he's not going to move much further than that. Well, hopefully. So yeah, he just moves back. That's pretty much all we can do. So
this is what? All right. So
could this hold on? Let's look at the route. Could this unit here? Where does he have to route to? Where could this unit route to?
Well, he has to. Well, okay. So in theory, yes, he could have ignored this hex, because he's no further away from the DM units. So he could go across the road.
Yeah, that's bad, right? You don't want interdiction.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I don't think I wanted to take it.
But you could ignore this, even though the units are broken. It's further away from this guy, but these guys still count, right? As being terms is further away from a guy. Broken units still count.
Yeah,
so,
but as I said, right. My next destination would be here, and it's like, all right, do I really want to take interdiction?
No.
You don't. Leaders there. It's like, all right, it's low probability, but you gotta hope something.
You just
gotta
don't.
hope rally,
Yeah, you just don't.
And of course I don't. So but
That's okay. Again, if they're broken, they might distract him. He might just move adjacent to you to DM you, and not know that he only has this last turn to do stuff.
Yep.
So he's prep firing. Do we love him prep firing?
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Last turn of the game. Yep. This is Christmas come early, baby. Yep. This is Christmas on January 2nd.
Yep.
Because now only 1 unit is going to make that dash to that building. So therefore, the only building we're threatened with is this one, for all intents and purposes.
Yep.
Let's hope Mark doesn't screw this up.
He does. He does. So this is where it happens.
Oh, shit. No.
He managed to loop around, avoiding at least 3 shots.
Wow.
Yeah. So he takes like at least 4 -2s and manages to get around. This is where you complained about the CX, by the way.
About being CX?
No, yeah, I think I let him go like 2x, and he said, "Oh my God, I can get there if I go CX." And I said, "Sure, go ahead, go CX." Ooh. And all of a sudden, the CX counter popped up, and you yelled at him.
Oh,
you're too much of a joke.
Yeah, because I figured this is still a friendly game. I'm not not gonna.
Yeah, you lost $20 though. I gave him $20 for winning.
I know. Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I don't know if he wins or not, but yeah, boom. See, he's forced to cross here. He's forced to take chances. What happens? We unload on that son of a bitch.
Yeah. The bottom side was fine. That was no problem. But unfortunately, this guy just got lucky and managed to loop around. If I had kept 1 unit, just put 1 unit in the building, that would have won the game. Yeah, or at least I would have won the game.
Right here, gentlemen. Talk to me down here. As soon as this guy breaks, what are you thinking as the German player? What are you thinking right here? These guys break. What are you thinking? What do you see that might have presented itself to you in this case? First of all, where's this guy routing? Number 1, where's that guy routing?
Oh, maybe you could
Q7.
He's gotta go to the woods. Yeah.
Yeah, he's going over here. He ain't going up here.
Right. Yep. Oh, so you're thinking maybe counterattack?
You can simply charge this building. Who's got guarding it? What about this bastard down here? Is he going to rally next turn, this guy, in the German turn?
No.
Nope,
No,
this guy's
no.
out of it. Again,
So all you've got is that half squad down there.
half squad,
That's
half
the
squad, and we've got an invisible. Oops, what the hell happened there? We have an invisible crew here. I don't see a crew here, but we have an invisible crew here, an invisible crew here, and we
I just didn't. I guess I'm just.
and we got a leader here and a squad here.
Yeah.
We could possibly retake this building. We might be looking at some 4-2s, but all we have to do is get here. All we have to do is get here or here. We don't have to make it there. We advance there, remember? Same thing over here. We advance to where our destination is to be. We don't need to make it there in the movement phase.
But but you can't advance into this hex from here because it would cost you 5, right? You only have 4.
Who?
Well, yeah, that's an interesting question. That's the way I had been playing it forever. But actually, you can always advance 1 hex,
Right.
unless it's a cliff or something like that. But we don't have those.
But I don't know if there's like a minimum move sort of thing in SK. But I don't think that concept exists. So I think that's where part of the problem comes in. And as I said, I didn't know whether you could do that.
That says that that you have to have enough movement factors, so you can always advance up there, whether it's 5 or 6 movement factors or not.
Right. It's just it's a matter of whether or not you CX. I think the only difference would be is if you use all your movement factors. Of course, ASL's slightly different, but I'm pretty sure you can get up on this building. But again,
and move any of his to an adjacent hex.
Right.
Unit advancing into hex that requires all of its MF must become CX.
Does it have a restriction on the CX after that?
Yeah, for example, a Russian squad carrying a 5 PP is only 2, and therefore must become CX to advance into hex, requiring 2 MF to enter, unless accompanied by leader who adds blah blah blah. CX unit may not advance into a hex that would cost all of its MF to enter. CX German squad, and so cannot advance unless in order.
So the leader can make it, but the squad can't, correct?
If you're stacking leader, you generally can, but it doesn't. But as I said, their example in the advanced phase doesn't say, "Oh, what happens if it costs 5? Can you still get up there?" They don't cover that, And so that for me was
and to me that means if it's not stated, then it's
Yeah, you may be right. Yeah, if it's not stated, the only thing it says the attacker may transfer blah blah blah. And move any of his good order unpinned infantry units to an adjacent hex.
Correct.
Hey guys, I asked this very question on Facebook just the other day, and Perry chimed in and he said, yes, you can advance. You don't have to have, even if it exceeds your movement allowance.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, the only case would be if you're already CX. You
right. That's the point. Yeah, if you're already CX, you can't do it.
Different. You can't do back-to-back CX.
Yeah.
So.
It's like a double CX because you become CX when it exceeds your movement factors.
Yep.
So that's it's like a halfway house between ASL and the other one. So yeah. But the leader.
I was the first time I played this scenario, I was playing it exactly that way, where I was thinking the only way I could get up on that hill, since there was no road, was to do it in the movement factor, and either with a leader or CX.
Oh, got you.
Right, and I think that was the same thing that I was thinking as well. Was that unless you're willing to take 4-2,
right.
you're not going to get up there.
Okay, yeah.
And as a German player, if that were the case, as a German player, if you put 3 squads up there, then there's no way for the Free French to move up there without first breaking one of those squads and being adjacent to you.
Well, you could have a leader. If the leader is back with them, then you can jump into the hex.
Right.
Then you
Right.
But
at any rate,
But anyway, I just want to point out that when this guy breaks, lights should pop on your head that. Again, I can I can change the plan because nobody else is moving. Nobody is even moving over here. They're all done. At that point, you could possibly come here. And what else could you do? Well, we'll get to the advanced phase. Hold on. Let's just keep going. So when that guy breaks, you should be happy not only that he can't go up here, and don't let them do this, gentlemen. I was talking with some gentlemen last night, some new players. The first thing people want to do is move. Yeah, I don't care how many years of experience you have.
Yeah, you just think
They
you can
go
get up.
next hex, or if there's a leader here, I'm routing to the leader. That's all they look about. It's tunnel vision like you don't believe. Movement factors. Think, okay, oops, this damn thing. Movement factors. This is 5. I mean, hell, the next board is closer than this damn hex compared to for this unit.
Yep.
You know, it's that sick. It's that damaging a scenario special rule. It really if you coming off this thing, you are not routing back to it. Period. So this guy is out of the equation. You don't even have to. He can't even block you. He can't even move up here and block you.
Yep.
You know, he's gone. He's donezo. So let's continue. Sorry about that. I just wanted to point that out. Is little things like this can really click in your mind. You've got a shitload of guys over here. You could move us. You could tear out these crews. What am I gonna do this crew? 1, 2, 3. CX 1, 2. Because now he gets excited. Oh, he's CXing. Where the hell he's going? 1, 2, fire. 3, fire. Okay. What happens next? This guy goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Advance. 6 wins.
Yep. Yeah. As I said, yeah. I mean, it's a very good point. As I said,
Right.
I didn't think I could do it for that reason.
Right.
Yeah. So that
And
probably
if
definitely covers my final turn. Yeah.
Right. And if your first crew breaks, right? Let me clone this guy. Just because
first crew. Yeah. Your second crew.
this guy breaks here. This guy then says 1, 2, 3, 4. CX. You know, because CX gets him excited. That means he's busting ass, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Subsequent first fire. Boom. Just to draw out all that fire.
Yep.
You know, I mean, you can do any number of things, or you don't have any smoke. So, and then this guy could just go. Hell, this guy can go 2, 3.
Oh yeah, at that point, 2, 3, and
that guy
it.
go 2, 3. Who cares?
Yeah, who cares? Yeah.
You know, and this guy can. Okay.
Well,
So
you still technically still have 2, 4, 8 here. So yeah, so you still have some.
Okay, we're going to deal with that 2, 4, 8 here. Yeah, in a second. So, let's say this guy first fires. Take this into situation, gentlemen. We're taking both these effing buildings. If he doesn't advance in this building, we're taking both of these buildings next turn from these units down here. This guy moves here, he first fires. He can't fire over here, right?
Yeah.
So.
And the other crew does the same thing.
What's the next crew going to do?
Goes to N6.
Let's clone him.
Yeah.
He goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's going to fire on him.
Yep.
Actually, he'd probably go 4. You want to go 4 so you can CX up the hill by the rule that we just read. He's going to fire here. What's this guy going to do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He can't fire on him. He's 2 minus 2. Not bad. And you could advance into close combat. And you have a 5 to 2 close combat there. Not that bad. And you could possibly take the building. Assuming he doesn't go in there. That's why I said it. Let's wait for the advance phase. So he routes there. The route was good. Good to see that route. Excellent to see that route there. Because we know we got it right. Unfortunately, takes that building. Oh, sorry. Let me get rid of this guy. He doesn't exist. This guy did. These are cloned, so they won't show up on the map. And look what happened. Looky here. Where did this guy move?
Didn't move anywhere.
Didn't move anywhere. Didn't move anywhere.
Interesting.
So this makes it really hard for the Germans to decide what to do. And for these guys. Do I care about this guy, or can he get up the hill? CX makes it a no-brainer for me. You assault, move, and advance phase. I mean, but he has control of the building. This close combat, that's going to be a 1-to-1 -1. That's going to essentially make it for one squad. That'll be a 3 to 2. For 2 squads, that'll be a 7 for a kill.
Right.
Yeah, assuming first of all he could simply just blast him, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, we can go 16 and then have this guy try to do it. But if this guy doesn't break and we don't kill him in close combat, it's this shot. 6 firepower plus 3 is not too bad, but this shot is the big one here. That's the 12 shot coming over here. That's the one that's going to hurt. We don't care about from. So what could you do in this situation as the Germans? What do you got up here that could distract
You got the leader. That's about it.
If you move the leader here or here, what's he going to do? Will he fire at him? I don't know. I don't know.
I wouldn't, because the leader can't retake buildings.
Right. He can't retake buildings. He can add to the close combat, but if he does fire at him, right? Let me clone him. If he does fire at him, guess what? Either he's going to fire at him, or some sort of constituent of this is going to fire at him. And now we've just defended our M4 guy. So now, if he prep fires this way, we've just defended this unit. What else can we do? Let's say these guys fire and they don't break this guy. We can use this guy to move up on this location again, doing the crew. Have him blast here. This guy can then move here, or actually the leader can move there, maybe first or second or whatever. And possibly we could squeeze that leader up into this building or this location or that location. You decide. At that point, the choice is yours, gentlemen. This is a 2-to-1 minus. This is a 2-to-1 even, because actually it'll be 2-to-1 minus 1 because you'll be stacked with a leader, right? At N5. Let's assume you make that morale check, and if you don't, you can move this guy in that same location and have two guys possibly get up there, and so that'll be a 2-to-1 minus 1 on that guy, assuming you don't ambush him.
Well, plus 1 with the CX,
right?
So be flat.
Yeah, but if the 9-1 and the 4-6-7,
right.
Nobody's going to be CX and N5, and they get to move up here. And guess what? When we roll an 8, what happens to this unit in 2-to-1?
He's gone.
He's gone. What happens when we see this guy?
He's half squad.
He still controls the building.
Yep.
Yeah.
So when you see this, I think 90% of people say, I'm 3-to-1 odds in close combat. Can you miss that? Yeah, because you're Mark. Your name's Mark D. You know. You know, I mean, yeah. I love you, Mark, but I've seen your rolls, baby, and I can only go what history tells me.
Oh yeah.
This is tricky.
Final roll here.
Yeah, and so again, I'm just saying that, you know, although this looks secured, this looks like you could easily take it. What's your best target, and can we bait this shot out? Can we? I don't know. Can you get the leader there? Don't know, but you might be able to if you move him first. He's probably not going to fire at him because, just like you said, he can't control anything. Who cares? Well, let him go. Screw it. I'll let the leader walk the whole way here. I don't care. Now we got a 9-1 sitting around. Guess what happens? Guess what happens at the end of the turn if all the squads break that came around here? All of them. What's going to happen? You're advancing the leader in there. That's a 1-to-2. You simply need to roll a 4.
Yeah.
And you can ambush the little bitch. You know? That's a 1-to-2. The game's not over yet. That's not bad. I've seen it done before. And again, you don't need to kill. You can't. The 4 is a casualty reduction. And in this case, it's a kill. If that was a squad, you'd need a 3. That would be a big risk. You essentially double your chances of winning simply because that guy is not a squad. Because you eliminate all the 4 rolls. So even a 1-to-2, even if all these guys break, all of them, you're still going. And that's why you move this guy first, so he doesn't catch any residual. He goes here, no fire, because we need to break these guys. Here, no fire, same reason, we need to kill him. Especially when you prep, right? And nothing happens. He knows where you're going. This shot is 100% guaranteed. If you're moving this leader here, he is not firing at his 9-1. And if he does, then that's exactly what you want. He's serving 2 purposes in moving this direction. One, he's drawing this fire to protect this unit because he's licking his lips on this. And this guy's going, I don't know, A +4 is a pretty shitty shot. But this guy's walking here for free. This guy might fire on him, but he might think that he's going here. But I don't know. If he's going here, then here, I would think that he's not going here, because why not just move into the stone building? Why take that shot? That's what I would think. So why is he moving here versus just moving in there? That's because that's not our objective for the 9-1. That is. 2, 3, 4, 5. Or Yeah, or what else you can do is let's say our 8-0 breaks. Just to twist your heads a little bit more, guys. Remember, the whole map is what we're dealing with. What do we say about leaders? About what they could do to broken units? You know, this guy could theoretically run back here and DM these guys, right? What else can he do to help us? Let's say we make a mistake and this force goes here into M9. Right? And he breaks. All these guys break down here. And this guy, let's say this guy was, he CXs for some reason, and he ends up CX right here. Can he get up in this location?
At that point, no. Right.
Are you sure?
Well, unless you got a leader with him.
What leader are we going to bring down there? The one that no one's going to fire at.
Yep.
1, no fire. 2, no fire. 3, don't give a shit, no fire, because you can't control the building. 4, 5, 6, advance with 6 movement factors.
Huh. Yeah.
Keep that eyeball open. Crack your eye. Open your eyes.
Except at that point, the leader can't regain control of that building. Though.
No. This unit was CX that he's here. This unit CX here, and so normally we can't move up there, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right. And so even if he's CX, this guy shouldn't worry about it because he knows he can't move up there. But moving this guy down, if he realizes that, again, that's why we move the 9-1 first. We don't move him last to run through all the residual. He moves first. He could possibly move first to this location anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because he knows single man counters can't retake buildings, so he doesn't care that he reaches here. The only person this guy's going to fire at are multi-man counters. And we got a bunch of them, baby. We can shroud that guy with multi-man counters. And I don't care if and this allows you to be CX, so that all of these guys break. What does he do? What does he do? He CXs to that location. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And at that point, you can just charge this guy over here. He shots, he breaks. Well, this guy moves down here. This guy moves over here. After he's gone, shots, breaks. This guy goes, because now he can't fire anywhere non-adjacent, right? If this guy moves adjacent and breaks here by this guy first firing, and then we break a guy here, we simply want him to break us. If he doesn't break us here, if he doesn't fire here, we keep moving here to force this son of a bitch to fire. So 08 is free to us. When the 9-1 moves first and goes here, and he says, I don't have to worry about that. He can't control the building. Everybody breaks here. This guy then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and with CX again, we take the building. It's not straightforward. Not straightforward, but look at your options. Because this is what I saw. I said, oh, Mark's just going to jump in close combat, take the building right back. Done deal. Done deal. It's easy. But we've got some firepower coming on us. And if he breaks 2-1, even a 2-1 -1's not the greatest thing in the world. You need to roll 7 to kill him. And an 8's easy to roll. Right here, we have a little bit better chance. If we have a squad up here, a little bit better chance. A little bit better chance with a leader. And we can take this building down here for free. Given the right move.
Was any discussion given to moving the leader to M4, join up with the squad there, and then go into close combat at L4?
Right. We haven't given that yet, but that's the key. That's another thing, John, is when that 9-1 leader moves here, do these guys fire when this guy think there's a threat coming? Does he fire? I don't know. I'm thinking this guy might fire because a 6+4 is not going to get shit, or 6+3 is very bad. That's his best shot. This is his best shot. I would take this shot and not fire that one, and then fire him over. And then when you move here, he's thinking to himself, what the hell is he doing? Because the best cover, safest cover for him to jump into close combat is M4. Why would he care to go to the 4.67? Well, we know why, because we know that this guy's going to fire here. He might want to go here to avoid that and get closer, so at least he can go in with the 4.67 and jump into close combat barrier, avoiding the 12 shot. He's going to take this shot, but this guy's probably not going to fire, and if he does, we just save that unit. And now Now we've got the situation we want. We've got the 3-1 -1. That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's where an 8 will win us the game. Here's like a 7 or something like that. Here's an 8 can win us the game. But if we could draw any fire from these guys have a much better chance, especially this 12. This guy's not going to do anything. That's 6 + 3. That's not a good chance. It's the same thing that we were dealing with over here when Mark was deciding whether or not to DM those guys or fight the other guy. It's the exact same situation, but just reversed.
Would it be 3-1 -2 since you've got the -1 leader and the
Yes.
CX unit defending?
Yeah, if the -1 leader goes in there, absolutely.
Okay.
3-1 -2. And that makes it a 9, right? That increases your odds even better. So, again, that's what make your opponent make hard decisions. Again, I don't know how this ends, but I just want to see the break here. And when you see opportunities like this simple break here unleashed all of that analysis. And I didn't even see it. I just want to say, hey, what do you guys think about this guy breaking? Can we take that building? Yeah. Who can get there? Can this guy get there? Can this guy get there? Again, your crews. You're not going to fire nobody. You're moving those. We're talking about occupying it territory now. Hell, both your crews can go 1, 2, 3. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4 over there. One guy could try and jump him in close combat. He could jump over here. 3-1 +1. That's not bad. That's a 7. 7 kills him here. Again, make him do weird shit. But your timing of moving is also important. You know, the 9 -1. I think he gets shot here once, maybe. Probably a 70% chance this guy will fire on him. This guy, if any part of this stack fires on him, this guy essentially just got another +1 on his defense because he's looking at 12 straight up. If any part of this fires, that just reduced the attack on this guy. So it went from a 12 + 3 to an 8 + 3 to whatever, depending on what fires. So you just, even if he does get shot up by these units, this guy's defense just went up against all 3 of these targets. So does this guy go through? Don't know, but you don't know that either, right? Maybe you do. I may not worry about him. If you move him first. Now, if you move this guy, right? Let's say this unit fires here and this unit fires somewhere else, right? They're both first fired. And this guy CX is here, right? And then I'm not worried about you because you still can't get up there. And then you move this guy. What am I going to do as soon as you move here? Because you don't move in here, because I know you're not going to close shot. As soon as you move into here, what's this guy doing? First of all, he's got no other targets to fire at. 2 - 2. 2 - 2. 2 - 2. Are you going to survive 3 2 - 2 shots with a 9 morale?
Almost certainly not.
Probably not. You probably have a 25% chance of surviving that. But if you move first, and he's looking at you, and nobody, these guys prep fire. Let's say these guys prep fire. I'm just assuming it's a prep fire. Is he going to fire on you? If he does, he does. You know, no big deal. If he does, he does. You know, at that case, you know, if something like that happens, and another thing you can think about, if you don't think you can make it down here for whatever reason, say, Stu, that's a bunch of bullshit. He's going to final, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, he could. So what do you do when you move here? N4. If you see, let's say, yeah, it makes a big difference. Okay, so again, direction of movement. This makes a big difference. I had it moving through N3. Does it make a difference whether I go to 04 N3? Does it make a difference? If our destination is down here, does it make a difference what hex I go in?
Well, from the standpoint of strict movement factors, no, but
right, none. But strategically, what does let's say we really want this guy to survive, and I really want to prep fire these guys, and you're planning out your move and then prep fire. I really want to prep fire because that 16 + 3 looks sweet to me, even to me, and I hate firing anything over 12. That 16 + 3 looks really sweet. 4, 6, 7 is going to be immune to fire from anybody on the board. 16 + 3 looks sweet. How do I get the 16 + 3? I prep fire. This guy moves here. Does this change anything? Does that change it? That move versus that move? One, this guy might not fire on him, right? Why? This guy might not fire on him. Why? This guy is scared about this guy. This guy is scared shitless about these guys, right? I would be. I'd be scared shitless. This is my focus right here. This 648 this is my focus. Or if I have LOS to that guy, which this is SK, I have LOS to that guy. Both these guys are my main focus. Actually, this guy's target would be this one. This guy's target would be this one. You move him here, what happens? What options does that open up for you? Or anything?
Well, I mean,
first of all, do you think that gives you any options, or it's like, Stu, you're just gonna get blasted by these guys? Well, if that,
well, it's probably gonna get blasted by the mortar, but
yeah, we had 4-2 here, but he's got no other attacks to fire, so he's gonna fire. Probably, well, he might.
Yeah, either way. Will
you fire the mortar on this guy? I don't know. But if you fire the mortar on him, he's got a rate of fire 3. He might not fire. I mean, 4. You know, he's got a better chance of breaking him than him. But you know, but again, move here. This is where I'm getting at. It might entice this stack to fire at you. Is he going to vaporize you if he fires everything? Probably. But guess what? He's fine because
those guys live.
Because this guy right here is, well, first of all, he's first fired. He can't fire anything else because nobody else is moving. And the difference between moving here and moving here, one, it's going to entice this shot more. And we forgot about the 458. This location or this location is the same to the 458. Actually, if you move here, the mortar can't fire at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, he did, but yeah, you still get 4-2 if he decides to.
Yeah, 4-2, and he's not going to cower. But if we move this way and go here, we jump into close combat, right? 1, 2, 3, right? So what happens if you go here and then you go 6 right up the building? That almost guarantees him to be able to make it there. Because
because it's going to be right. Yeah,
right. So
even,
it depends. Yeah.
Even if he suddenly decides he's got to fire everything he's got, then it's still a 24 plus 3. I mean, it's not the worst shot in the world.
Right.
I mean, it's not the best shot in the world.
But if our anticipation is to getting this guy here, because let's say our plan of attack was moving these guys to jump this guy. If we move the 9-1 this way and everybody breaks, right? He goes upstairs, you know, by himself, and he probably takes a residual as well. But if he goes here, initially, we're, you know.
Right, but the problem, but unfortunately, the problem there is that the leader on his own, again, even if he eliminates the unit in close combat, he still can't control the building.
Right. So therefore, drawing more fire from this, because he's going to get here regardless. He's only going to take -2 shot here, -2 shot here. But this position here, now for your opponent, it doesn't matter. It could be either way. But this might draw this fire out even better. And if that's the case, then we can move on this guy much more easily. And if it doesn't do that, then we could still continue this direction or go up here. But then these guys can't, then anybody over here can't CX to N5 because we won't have the leader to move up. So again, even moving adjacent might get this guy to fire. And if that's what you want to protect this guy as your primary movement, that's a good thing. But there's a slight difference in these locations here, because you could get up here directly. You don't have to worry about, you know, if he just first fires, he could like subsequent fire later. You're in the best terrain in the game. So that, again, even though that looks crazy, but again, is he going to control the building? No. So therefore, he still has to worry about these guys. But again, if he didn't prep fire this guy, then he knows something might be up. So anyway, I don't want to go drill on with it, but just know that just simply one broken unit can just pause the game. And so, what can I do? What happens now? What happens now? Again, I'll be the same way. 3-1, 3-1 -1 on this guy here. Prep fires exactly like he did, and there's marks 9. You know, and that's just crap like we always get. And he's trying there. And Jesus Christ, can he not roll anything but like a 4? And so this is our situation, right? He does fire here, he breaks these guys, and these guys didn't get good Lord, Mark, are you sure you're not just staging these games for us?
I know. Yeah, it just. Yeah. Well, I think this is about where we end up. So it's like, okay, so yeah, so I've got the 2-to-1 attack.
Wow. That guy even dies for failure to rout too. That's oh my god.
Yep.
No ambush.
And then, there we go. There's my final roll for the game.
God.
Wow.
God, Mark.
Yep. There you go. So, so yeah. In the end, if I was relying on close combat, since I know I'm going to roll boxcars, it doesn't matter.
Oh my god.
Yep. So yeah. So I mean, in the end, it looked about what it was going to be.
I mean, wow. That's just wow.
Yeah. So yeah, wow. So that's how it ended up. So yeah, so in the end, I think it was just simply I if I'd taken that 4-6-7 that was there and put him in that building, just advanced him back out of there, then he wouldn't have controlled the building when he moved in there.
Oh right, right. I see. I hear you.
Then game was over at that point. Games. I mean, we got to go through the phase because he might break and force me to rout or whatever. So I mean, it's still possible, but I think that was unfortunately, as I said, I just got kind of just a little too fancy and here, and I said, oh well, I know he's going to run, even if he runs around here, I can get a 2-2 here, I can get another shot here, I'll break him one of these 3 times. Nope. Well, actually, I think in most cases, I actually forced him to take morale checks. He just passed them all.
Yeah. I don't mind that at all. I mean, plus you had 3 guys. You had 3 guys.
Yeah.
Your 9-1. Did he do anything this turn?
Well, what he ended up doing, and I don't quite know why I decided to do it at that point. It might have been late, and I was punch drunk or something. But I actually moved him into O2 to force these guys out of the building. I don't know why I decided to do it, except just to do it, I guess.
Okay, you moved to O2.
Yeah, so he went to O2, so he did basically the same thing. So now these units here had to rout, so they had to go out of the building.
All right, that's fine. So you can move to O2, right?
Yep.
Back to O3, and you could still do the same thing. Prep, because remember we were afraid of M4.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, you got 1, 3, 4.
6. You can at least make it here. Even if and again, if he fires on you in N3, which many players will take that shot. Because it will hopefully draw fire. I don't think this guy got shit here, and this guy blasted you or whatever. And
blasted him.
This bullshit 2-2 over here. Again, another thing right there is, we know it's hard to hit this guy in a 4-fort building. The 2-2-8, 1, 2, 3, 4. If he fires on us, that frees up this unit to go down the road because he was broken here.
Yep.
This unit is then free to re-engage here. And again, what's another 4? Look at the situation. A -1 leader does what in close combat, gentlemen? A -1 leader or 4 firepower on the infantry fire table does exactly the same thing. In close combat, it will do exactly the same thing. Raise it up by 1. Your charts go up by 1. So a -1, whether or not you got the -1 leader in here or 1 more squad in there, it's exactly the same thing. Because everyone's 4 firepower, this is either 2-1 or 3-1. Difference? 1. So if you get a squad in there, it's like a -1 leader. Now, of course, the defense is different, but in terms of numerical trying to kill shit, it's going to most likely add 1 to the chart. Unless it's like a 3-2, then it's a little different. But once you go up or down, it's all about 1s. And so either way, again, one of these, because this is so hard to hit, and he's got 8 morale, that's a tough shot. The 2-2-8 here at least gives you a close combat option on him, even if it's -1, even if he's got a -2 leader in there and you're CX'd, at least it gives you that bullshit roll that you can pull out of your ass at the end of the game. The 75, we've all seen it over the last 3 or 4 games. It's hard to hit that. But anyway, this is again, I really liked your game. You were solid in the middle. You punched him out over here really good. Breaking these units.
But I think, as I say, Jason did see the loop. He did see the turnaround and just got in there. So as I said, it was a good win. He kept his head on and
because I would have I would have failed a couple personal morale checks down here, especially when that guy broke.
Yeah, I think that's what I thought. I thought with the 9-2 when I vaporized him, I thought, all right, that's it. You know, I think I've got the game in the bag now. You know, because that just takes out a tremendously potent weapon out of your arsenal at that point.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, it does.
But give him credit. He saw it.
He stuck with it. Yeah, he stuck with it on both sides. Both of you guys stuck with it on both sides, and you know. A close combat at the end of the game. That's about if that's the best you could do and you good odds. That's great. I mean, that's all you can do is say, you know, it was a good game, and both you guys were fighting hard. Both you guys had advantages and disadvantages at both games, both parts of the game, and it like ebb and flowed. To be honest with you, although it didn't look like a lot of that was going on, but mentally, I know a lot of ebb and flow was going on here, simply by just the simple shit that we were looking at up here. And you know, I honestly didn't want to take the whole time on this one, but I think a couple small little things like the DMing these units, very important. Do I DM them or do I fire point blank? Every single game we're faced with those decisions. You know, this guy vacates the building. Oh, my plan is to defend back here. Do I have an opportunity to take it? Maybe, maybe not. Let's see what happens. You tried that. You know, it slowed him down a little bit. I think it slowed him down a little bit, to be honest with you. And hell, if he mouthed the gun firing in here, that's good. That means he mouthed the gun. He didn't mouth it over here. A potential shot that you need to defend.
Yeah.
You had guys here. They got crushed over here early. He had a shitload of guys. I thought he was just going to walk through this entire stack over here. You defended down there very well, and he got broke. He tried to do something differently, and but just the ebb and flow of the game was pretty smooth. But I just want you guys to know that even though your stuff looks wide and clear, you know. Just like Steve did in the other game with John, right? That 228 over an I4. He's got a gun. Most players will swivel that gun and fire at the 338. Use him as a 228. Shoot him. That's what he did. He tried to break him that way. Good chance of breaking him. He didn't meant to break him, but that's where you want to go. And when you're at the end of the game, we talk about control. Do we care if this guy breaks? Can we get somebody up there? You know, if we get somebody up, we have to get two people right there then, right? We have to get somebody here and here, because if we go here, he simply routes back there and we don't take the building.
Right. Yep.
So that's very tough. It's like, if this guy breaks, can I get him the hell out of that building? Now, if you move the guy to N5, you know, N5 will be your critical point then. Then he has to route the entire way out of the building. And as long as you're seeing N5 and not N6, say, oh, if I just go to N6, I'm good. It just goes over here. N5 is your location, so now you're narrowing your locations down to N5. But I just want you guys to see that when this situation happens over here, don't tunnel vision on it. Say, okay, he's there. Do I need that building? Well, guess what? Let's say you know, whatever, for whatever stupid reason, how do we take this building back? How can we take this building back?
Well, that may have been one of the reasons why the 9-1. I mean, yeah, if you get that unit across the road, you know, right, then the 9-1 drives it out, and you advance into N3, and then if you can get into there or advance, you know, you can assault move into N3. Maybe you survive 12-1. I don't know.
Right. If we get one multi-man counter into this building in this location, do we control the building, gentlemen? If these guys are here. Before the 9-1 moves, if we get one multi-man counter in that location, do we take the building? The answer should be no. Right now, the answer should be no.
Yeah. But
he goes 1, 2, 3, and then the leader does just what Mark wanted to do. Goes here. Now he leaves. Now we control it in the route phase.
Yeah.
Now we control it in the route phase.
Yeah.
Actually, what you could possibly do, and this might be a trick too. You might take a unit, and again, this is playing on your enemy's weaknesses. M5. Let's say, okay, I'm going to, or you had like a unit or hell, this unit for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So you had a unit right here. So you go. I'm going to CX, and you go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? Make it obvious that that's kind of a dumb move, right? I'm just going to use this.
Yep.
I'm just going to use this. This unit CX is here, or he can only get to here, right? So either way, because if you move 4, if you're here, you move 1, 2, 3. You can move 4. He might get dangerous. But if I see a unit CXing here, and why is he broken? What the hell am I doing? So if he's here, there we go, CX. Right? Do I care about that unit too much? He's not taking back my building over here. And if he advances into here, again, order of movement. This is before this guy moves.
Oh, yeah, you might not be. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Why is he? Oh, duh. I unmoved him and then moved him right back in. Jeez, oh my goodness. All right. Anyway, I'm going to delete the broken units because I'm an idiot. So if I move him here and this guy hasn't moved, because we say, well, hey, doesn't have control of the building. And then you simply assault move here, right? As your last move, after he's fired on everything, you know, then you take back that building there. You might be able to sneak a guy for free in there. You might be able to. It's tricky. You'd have to have the units available, this, that, and the other. Again, this unit might be able to make it. He might go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because he can't take this building. Just say, screw it, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you say, oh shit, I can't get it. You know, you might play some mind games on your opponent. And then advance in there after he advances up here and causes this guy to rout. So you'll get it even after the fact that he routs out. You get it in the last phase you could possibly get it in. That's another weird quirkiness that you could kind of trick around him on that. But again, we've got a 4-5-8, got nothing else to do. He's going to shoot. But hey, it's if you need both of these guys over here, and if you knew that you couldn't get up here, let's just say we can't get up there, then we send them all these guys vacate 1, 2, 3. Or 1, 2, 3, yeah, 1, 2, 3. Hell, we do something. We just run into this building or some shit like that. That way he doesn't rout back here, you know, whatever. We just charge everything, and but you charge them with purpose to get the shots out. And look at your games, look at your guys' replays that you guys have done, and see if they're just look in when somebody breaks. You know, if you think it's a key guy, don't look for every single one because that will take like bazillions of years. When it's one key guy breaks, and say, okay, how does this change the game situation in this little part of the world? You know, I didn't even consider pulling this son of a bitch down. That was after the fact. But that's what happens when you're in the middle of a game. I mean, you're distracted, you're going. It's hard to think of things like that. But just step back, say, okay, where's this guy routing to? That's the first thing I ask you. Where's he going? He's not going up here. As long as he's not going up here, as long as he's not blocking us, we're good. And that means he's out of the equation. He's gone. When you do see these opportunities of shit happening, don't just go with it. Step back and say, okay, how do I get the most guys on him? Can I get this guy to fire so no fire can go to 08? Can I get this guy to fire so he can't subsequent first fire in 08? You know, because he has 2, 3 for this guy, right? Can I get this guy's going to win us the game? But if I just move 2, 3, that's a 2 minus 2, 2 minus 2. And if he breaks, these guys, the units down here moving back, subsequent first fire, final protective fire, final protective fire, final protective fire, final protective fire. Instead of 2 shots, he gets, how many is that? 2, 3, 4, 7 shots. Instead of 2 shots, he gets 7 shots on anybody that's going to move there later. Huge. And 8 more out, 2 minus 2. Even if he pins, it's a 1 minus 2. Who cares? You know, those shots are coming out. You don't want those shots. Bait this son of a bitch out. Move this guy in the open. He might just lick his chops on that. 4 minus 2. Yeah, I'm gonna kill somebody. Mm-hmm. And then take this guy. Boom. 2 minus 2. Okay. Clear. Next target. Minus 1. Get down there first. Does he take the shot? Maybe, maybe not. If he does, he's first fire, free. And we're both up the hill. He doesn't even have to CX. We don't even have to worry about that. If he breaks here, that's unfortunate. You know, for whatever reason, he doesn't fire. Let's say he fires here. Then we can pull this guy and CX him, right? Not the 8-0, but the guy that was here, the 447. Right. This guy could then CX. Take a residual, mind you. Taking a residual. But then we can still get up the hill.
No, if he's CX, he can't get up the hill.
No, the leader. The leader will be with him, though.
Yes, the leader can.
Yeah, because
right,
now
yep.
we'll have 6 MF to get up the hill.
Right. Oh yeah, if he doesn't, right? If he doesn't, yeah.
But you see how this leader who's doing nothing comes into play and makes a very critical positional play. But he has to move first, because if this guy fires, then this guy can get up there. And if this guy fires on these two guys, he's the one that has to go up there, and then we can then go this way. This guy's the last guy moving, because he is all this shit is all that is dependent, not this guy. If he moves first, we're screwed. All we're doing is laying down more residual. He's waiting, just like he moved first. They're both far away from it. This guy moves first because no one cares about him. This guy moves last because we can get there. You may have, in your other situations, you may have to take a lot more shots. You might have to take a couple more shots, a couple more -2s, whatever, or 2 -2, but at that point, then you have to make sure that you just first fire the guy. Try to first fire him and see if there's a gap that you could slip through. Like, here's our gap. That's our gap. Right there. If we could slip through that gap, we need to first fire these guys. And then you ask yourself, how do I do that? Well, present juicy targets. Move a guy right here. This guy's going to fire 100% of the time. No one else can see him. That's the only guy that can fire on him. No one else can see this guy. Not even Mortar Boy. Nothing. He has to fire on him.
Mm-hmm.
Leader moves first, so he doesn't fire. Then we move there, and then he fires. Then this guy, 100% clear. Again, I would have done the same thing what Mark did here, 100% of the time. I'm not saying I would do this. This is after this guy breaks and we stop and think about it. During a game, do you have that? Probably not. But now that we've thought about it, it's like when like when you guys play sports. I don't know if you guys play sports. You don't think about what the opponent's going to do as he starts to move. You anticipate what he's going to do. I played a lot of basketball. You have to anticipate what his tendencies are. Once you know his tendencies, that's half the game. Then you anticipate, and you're in front of him before he knows you're there, and you draw the charge. I'm a big guy, so I always try to draw charges. So but you're up and you stop him what he wants to do. That's what we're thinking here. We're thinking on the backside. We're squeezing our brain, and we're thinking on the backside. How once this guy breaks, does that help? If it doesn't help, doesn't help. But just pause, say, how do I get up there? Well, we know it's a shitload of movement factors, right? And so, okay, what do we need to get up there if there's a shitload of movement factors? We need leaders. What leaders do we have? We have this one. We have this one. Can they get there? Well, this one can go. I don't know if he was here or not. He can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, even if he was CX, the leader still has 6 movement factors, so we can still go up the hill. So it doesn't really matter, right? Even if the leader's CX, it doesn't matter. So he can go. He could run around the block. He could take his 5K run, and get to that location. So that's the next step is infantry can't get up their CX. I need a leader. How do I get a leader there? This guy? Can I run down the road? Nope. This guy's gonna blast you. How do I get here without this guy blasting me? Give him a piece of candy. And then we go through the building. Same thing here. Give him a piece of candy. Well, if the 9-1 doesn't make it down there, then the 4-4-7's going here anyway, right? We already determined that. But just think of that, and then it only takes a second. Just okay, leader. How do we get up there? 5 movement factors. That's a lot. So just take a step and just crack open, watch your just like we did with the fortifications, right? When he left, we pause for a minute. Does this give us an advantage? Can we do something about this? Mark tried it. Pause this guy's over here. Did it work? Yep. I'd say it made him think about it. If it redirects units more over here than this way, then it's a win. Even if he dies, then it's a win, because that means there's less units over here that we could possibly deal with later. Mm-hmm. Decisions you make early in the game can have huge repercussions later. Remember that broken guy was back over here? I don't even know where the hell that sumbitch ended up. I gotta be honest with you. I think he rallied. Hell, he's this guy right here.
Yeah, he is that guy right there. Yep. So
right.
In the end.
So where's this guy? How far away is he from a victory location? Would this
2 X's that he was back. Yeah.
Would this change if this son of a bitch was in this location with the 8-1 leader CX'd?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
This is almost a freaking no-go.
Yeah. Then you really would be looking at other locations. Yeah, you'd be looking at
2 hexes. This is turn 1. This is a turn 1 decision that if he rallies, he could potentially be in this location. 2 hexes. 2 hexes. That's the difference of relying on your opponent to roll shitty. I mean, because Mark just rolled shitty. I mean, come on, guys. -1. I mean, everyone's licking the chops. You know, it's a 2-1 -1. I'm licking my chops, baby. But if this 6-4-8's in there, it's a no-go. You're screwed. You are screwed here, and you're not even getting 1-1. What the hell is that? That's when you just pray. Yes, 1-2. I mean, come on. Yeah, good luck with that. And you have to get a KA. So at that point, you have to, you have no choice but to go over this way. And by that problem there is, guess what? Since he knows you're not going to do that, now he's got 10 firepower, 6 -2, or 6 -1, 4 -1 on anybody that moves in those hexes. And then he's got the leader. So it really changes this little bastard really changed the game up. Potentially changed the game up. That route from here to there changed the entire way that Mark attacked this location over here, and stayed over here for that matter. If this guy was over here, would Mark have stayed in the building? I don't know. I think I would have dipped, but that's the decision Mark didn't have to face at that time, right? If this 6-4-8's there with that 4-5-8, no, I'm gone. That's 20. You're not dealing with 20. I'm gone over here. And if he's gone over here, again, 6-4-8 could cause him to win the game, or actually could cause him to lose the game. Because if he's here and Mark says, screw that, I'm dipping over here with my 4.47 LMG, even if you see ours on the bullshit over here, the 9-1 is now over here, and now you're defending this place. Now he has to go through the whole thing and trying to get across the road. Where Mark, I don't want to say he left the back door open, but the guy took a bunch of shots, so he didn't really leave the back door open, for all intents and purposes. But he got lucky. But again, we're just thought-provoking stuff, gentlemen. Just realize that every single move that you make for breaking, when you break in a route backwards, this is why I hate routing backwards. And I've incorporated this only from our discussions here. I hate routing backwards because when you route backwards, you're not going to rally, most likely. Well, 8 morale's not bad, but if it's a little shit unit, it's a 5 morale unit, you definitely want to keep them up in front. 1, it gives him another target to fire at. Right? If he's firing a broken unit, can he die? Yeah. Yeah, he die. He's a +2 building. It's not bad. Not bad. 8 morale still. But guess what? He's not firing at the units that are good order that are going to break him. So is that a real risk? I don't think so. Try that in your games. Try not rallying. Like even this guy or whatever. If he's just low crawl, 1 hex, and then just leave him there. Leave him in the open ground. And if you feel that's the only broken unit, just try and self rally him. Especially if he's like on this bullshit rules about when he goes off the hill, it takes like 80,000 movement factors to get back up there. Do you really want to get off that hill? I mean, luckily we've got a paved road here. But do you want to get off that hill? Especially over here. Do you want to get off this hill? Do you want to route down? Go over here? Hell no. Stay here. Take all the fire.
Yep.
Take all the bullshit 6+3, 8+3, big artillery gun, big AA gun. If he's firing at this guy to kill him, your 9-2 makes that move and rallies this guy back over here. Keep the targets available to him that he wants to kill. 6 morale unit, he's probably not going to do much anyway. There's a potential that he could do stuff. I mean, he could obviously go here, just like we saw over here in John's game. Don't discount them, but use him as a target.
Certainly one other thing, from my perspective, at least for my personal style, is I'd rather be moving than firing.
Well, now what happens if this guy advanced here? How does that change our plans? We're totally screwed. There's only one way to go now. That's here.
Yep.
That one advance, again, because he didn't do that, you take a look at, what did he just give me?
Mm-hmm.
It's possible they gave you 4th field building. Just pause, review it just for a second, and then can I change something around there? Again, I'm not discounting Mark's choices here or anything like that. This is nothing that many players see. No one really sees this one, but because we're here, we're working together. tearing this apart on what does one broken unit, one stack of units. This brought this entire conversation to bear on this. I wouldn't have thought of any. If this guy didn't break, would this have come up? Nope. That would have never come up in my mind. To pull these guys and attack down here or attack middle. I don't think it would have come up in my mind, honestly. But since the game changes when this unit breaks.
Yep, opens things up, yeah. But as I said, yeah, the one big thing about, I mean, I know like a lot of people say, yeah, you know, you're prep firing, you're losing, but you know, while certainly there are cases where you need prep fire, but one other thing that prep fire does, besides you often roll, you know, 9s or 10s or whatever, right, and so you don't end up doing anything anyway, is now your opponent knows that unit can't move.
Right.
And that's one less thing he has to worry about moving to some odd spot that he didn't think about, or some place he's got to cover, or whatever. It's one less unit that I find, you know, when somebody preps fires, it's one less unit I generally have to worry about for the rest of the turn. I don't have to worry about him. Right. He's not going anywhere. Any
questions from you guys? Like I say, I really want to get some of the other games, but I think the discussion and the opportunities just in these common things. These are like almost the most common things we've seen in all of our games. Some guy breaks in a building. Do we route out of it? Do we DM him? What the hell do we do? How do we take a building, this, that, and the other? A guy runs across the street, gets broken. We see this every single game. We see this every single game. It's nothing strange. You know, the 338 coming back here, taking this guy. We don't see that very often. But we can have that occur more often than not, right, gentlemen? We can make that move. We've done that. We've seen John do that shit, you know? And then we've seen our 228. Is he going to stay back here and cower? Is he going to go back over here? No, he balls to the wall. Let's go kill something, you know? This is what we see. Yeah, and he did. Yep. This is what we see every game. Take another look at it in your games. Pause. Say, you know, I got to take a piss break, and then don't leave your computer and just stare at the screen for 5 minutes. You know, and then just stop. Don't leave your computer. Just sit there, and then like mute your mic. Say, oh, I'm coming. My wife coming, and take another 5 minutes. You know, and just take a look at it, and does something strange come up at it? It may not. That's the you know, and sometimes this stuff you don't plan for. You don't plan for this. You don't plan for this guy to be broken and you guys here that could jump this. You don't plan for this because you don't know where he's going to be. You can't plan for that. You just have to, as soon as you see it, oh, hey, you know, look at that. Something, can I make something of it? You know, can I get somebody there? You know, you should break it down. Can I get somebody here to advance up there or move it there? Can I get somebody to move in there? The answer probably is no. Can I advance there? Yes. Who can advance there? Just break it down. Oh, he can't advance there because he's CX. How do I get up there if he's CX? Leader. Where are the leaders? Here and here. Can I get the leader there? No. He's got to run through 15 hexes of something good for fire. You know, is he doing anything else? No. That's his only chance. This guy down here, is he doing anything else? No. That's his only thing. That's his only option to do. You know, he brought him up here, which was fine. Again, not a big deal. But just break it down. It takes 5 or 6 minutes to say, is it even feasible to do it? Is it even feasible to do it? This situation is a real game. This is real tense right here. Real tense on both people. Both people are focused on that building 100% of the time. Mm-hmm. You know, we've saved our building here. Our building here is safe. Our building here is, quote, safe. Our building here is safe. There's no multi-mech error. The only building that contention is this one. But we've just determined in the last 2 hours, all 3 buildings are available to take. Well, all 4. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have plans of attack for all 4 buildings in this scenario. We just choose one. Sometimes we could choose 2. You know, nothing's wrong with any of those choices. I think this is probably about 80% of the choices would have gone right here. I don't think running a squad across here would have been a choice. It's risky. Running a guy up here, kind of risky. Down here, this one takes a little more thought to try to figure out.
Yeah, that one probably be the one that as I said, when I get a chance, maybe tomorrow, I'll take a look at it a little bit more.
This is the puzzle that we have to unlock here.
Yeah,
This is
especially knowing that you can advance up to that hill.
right.
You know, even if you don't, provided you have a non-CX unit there,
Right.
that might change things a lot. You know, from my standpoint,
Right.
and I might think a lot more about that, about trying to get that building.
So anyway, hey guys, I really love it that you guys stuck around this long time. I think this was a mega intensive, just analysis of this particular scenario, and I think a lot of good thoughts and were involved in this one here, and just it looked like to be honest with you, Mark, it looked like a nice solid defense back, and you just got unlucky. But the amount of information we got out of this particular game, and just viewing the board, target selection, routing choices, ways to moving your leaders to going to your routing guys, there were a number of humongous areas of concepts that we just focused on. And again, I actually wanted to burn through some of the scenarios, but I'm glad that we did yours first to be able to see what we can see in your game. All of this stuff, to me, to be honest with you, was kind of hidden. It's very subtle. Nothing's overt, very subtle. I've watched this scenario like 4 or 5 times, and I didn't even see half, to be honest with you, until we started talking about it. Looking at it by yourself is one thing. So, but when we start talking about it, questions come out. That's why when you guys have questions, I don't care how simple question is. It's like, where does this guy route? That's a simple question. We find out where he routes to. Okay. Next question. What can we do? And then boom. An hour later, we're taking a building. We're possibly taking a building. This is like a 2% chance. But
yeah,
we have real chances of take buildings. And so take a look at your games, your previous games, if you have logs, if you've saved them, take a look at those and just look at the little shit. Look at one broken unit. This guy. Just follow this guy throughout the whole log. He breaks back here. Ignore everything else. Press and hold your page down. And this guy will be doing this bullshit real fast, and he'll be over here and prep fire and real fast. And find out what he does during the game. And find out what he could have done if he was 2x's further. Like at the end of a turn. Beginning of prep fire phase. Is he here? Or is he back here and he can't fire on this? Find out where this guy is. Just one guy. You're one broken guy that when he routes him back, if he's here, like if he's like right here and he goes 2, 4, right? Or he's right here, he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He goes the extra step. Track that one guy. You don't have to track them all. Track this one guy and then think of yourself. What can this guy be doing if he like low crawled 1 hex? And think of the situations. Would he fire on him instead of him? Because this guy probably broke the next turn. If this guy's up here, I've got a bunch of guys, breaks. Track one guy. That's your homework. Track one of your broken guys. And if he doesn't end up doing anything, find some other broken guy later on. Track what he does during the game. And see what he could have done. See how you could have changed his route. And then made it so, and make the roll. Like this guy over here. If I'm gonna self rally, make the roll. If he fails the roll, you make the roll. Rally that son of a bitch. You make the dice roll for him. Right? Unbreak that guy. Where's that break? Jesus, right in the middle. And then when he's up in the front where he wasn't before, you make the attack dice roll. Okay, I get a free 6 plus 3. All right, Mark, get the hell out of my game. And then he's somewhere else, and he's in this building, makes a close combat attack or something like that. Kind of take it reasonable. It's obviously he's not going to be invisible. Say, okay, if the Germans were there, would he attack him? If I was here, could I bait a shot by moving over here? And therefore, if this guy broke this guy, maybe he wouldn't have been broken. Take one guy that would routed like 1,000 miles away, and that was out of it for forever. And you see that a leader could have gotten to him. Change that one thing in your game, and then you could see what the outcome could have been. Hell, you could probably play the game from that point. Just play the game at that point. I know if anything in this game, if you didn't follow anything in this game, follow this 648, that broken unit, and how that essentially changed the decision for Mark to jump this guy in close combat because he would have been here. That in and of itself is worth pretty much this entire thing. This made it a done deal. Every single one of you guys' questions comes up, and they're all sound. I mean, they're all sound. They're either clarifications, that's something we screwed up, or it's something that we could clarify for you. You know, the uphill movement, clarified. You know, the other thing that Tony brought up, clarified. You know, stuff like that. Every little thing makes a difference.
Yep.
And you guys showing up here makes all the difference. I mean, we used to have 3 guys in the beginning. Now we got a room full of guys.
The bang for the buck, from my viewpoint, is that if I'm sitting down and playing one person in a game, you know, that's probably anywhere from, at least the way I play, between 4 to 6 hours. Here, we've got 2 hours, maybe 2.5, something like that. And we'll go through probably 2 to 3 times as many different tactical situations or rule clarifications as I would during a normal game. And I have, you know, 7 or 8 viewpoints on the same finite point that I wouldn't have gotten had I just playing a single person. Love playing one-on-one. That's great. This, you know, as far as, you know, what's gonna, you know, you need to do both. You need to be playing and also attending these. But this is, you know, if I can't play every week, this is a very, very satisfying second choice.
Yep.
And it's usually less than 4 hours. But and
On occasion, yeah.
And it just goes to reiterate. I mean, you guys might see me typing shit on Facebook or here or wherever. It's almost to the point of people probably think I'm bitching about people not creating Vassal logs. Well, you guys being here, engaging conversations, tearing shit apart, learning shit, and you're telling me you can't learn anything from a Vassal log. So, all right. Well, thank you so much, gentlemen. Again, everyone's here, so I'm just, it's crazy. It's crazy. Great conversation. Great, as always. And I appreciate you guys, and I will catch you next time. All right?
Good night, everyone.
Have a great week.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.